Today, I wanna try something different. I saw today the episode 4 of season 3 from Star Trek Discovery, and I thought, since many misunderstood this episode, I thought it is a good idea that we do a deep dive. So, let us check out. We begin the episode with the doctor, and we see here in the picture that he is initiating the medical scans on his tablet. And he's, you see how he's really caring for all these people who have to deal with the problems they have to face with being in the future and having nobody else, even though the whole bridge agreed to this. And you see really in this picture that he's really caring, and she's very, look how he's caring, and look the detail on the things they use for scanner stuff. I mean, that is almost like in Star Trek Voyager or Class The Next Generation, just bigger. And we know from our technology, the phones 10 years ago were bigger than the phones today. And therefore, it is a genius idea to use this scanner and have it bigger than in the Next Generation or in Voyager. So let us jump to the next part. The doctor is still going around. He's he seems confident and um, cares about everyone, also about the blonde girl. And then you have the new character, the human not drill person. And she has a drill symbiont in it. And you see you see now she get a scan, and you see a huge huge drill symbiont. And what people not understand is, yeah, you can argue that in Star Trek: The Next Generation the drill were smaller, but bigger is better. Bigger is better, and therefore this drill is better than Chatia or Esri Dex. That Andy Kurtzman is a genius, and he had more very very good ideas. Let us continue. So this can the drill person, and the drill person, she has no memory whatsoever, and she's talking with the captain and with um, Michael, the best character in ever in Star Trek. I thought Captain Picard was cool. I thought even, I mean, Cisco was sometimes creepy, but Michael, she's one of a kind. Not even, not even Janeway, the first female captain, can. I mean, how will you decide who is the better character? It's of course she, because the series Star Trek Discovery is the newer series. You understand? So she's talking. She's talking with Michael and Captain Fishhead, and she says she has no memory whatsoever, and she wants to go to the Drill Planet. And you have to understand, and the huge topic in this episode is transformation. Okay, everything is about transformation. You had it at the beginning with the scan, with the small Trill, they made it huge. With the big scanning thing, that was little in Star Trek The Next Generation. So, and person, symbiont Trill person, wants to go to the Trill planet, and the captain agrees because, if you are a leader, okay, you have to understand this. If you are a leader, you have to take advice and to listen to your people. And you may now say, no, well, she isn't really a part of the crew. But Star Trek is all about positivity and inclusivity. She is on the ship. She is a part of the crew. Okay, so they go. Everyone is like, wow, 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 cool. He's like, okay, cool. She's like, really cool. And he's also very cool. I mean, he says very cool. He's not cool. He's a doctor. Doctors are not cool. And she's like, you are really cool. And then she says to Michael, who, you are totally cool. And she's like, wow, nobody listens to me. Let us go to the planet. And Michael says, okay. And she says to Saru, we should go to the planet. And then we have stuff. So that was the intro. And you see, in this intro alone was so much energy, so much about transformation and about Star Trek. We have comparison between the Next Generation with the scanner and the pad. And if you watch Star Trek The Next Generation, you will see that Captain Picard and other crew members use pads. And the next genius thing is, even the pad the Doctor uses is bigger than the pad Picard uses. Because the technology on the Discovery is older. And old technology is big. Like phones. So Saru is now on the planet of the Trill. And they hail them. And he says, hey, the answer. And so they answer, and Saru is so, oh boy, I have to talk with them. And he talks, and he's like so, Starfleet, cool. And they are also, wow, cool. Everyone is cool, because, hey, did you see Star Trek Picard? You thought Star Trek Picard is good? This episode is how do I say it? I don't know. It's the very best of Star Trek. Okay, let's continue. I'm so hyped. That is insane. This is so good. So they decide they don't. That is the genius part. He is a Trill. You see this on the tattoos, okay? And normally, and hey, I know the Trekkies are now like, hey, humans cannot be Trills. That is set up. But, let me continue and explain, okay? Trill human person, symbiont person, has the huge, transformed huge trill in her. And he doesn't know it. He's like, so, huh? Who are you? And they are like, whoa, we have a drill. And he's like, huh? What? And they are like, hey, let's go to the people down on the planet. So we have then here a very smart and very emotional scene between Engineer Blonde and Captain Saru and Tilly. And she has a very good idea. They talk about the spore because he's the only person who can use this mushroom drive. And if something happens to him, they cannot use the mushroom drive anymore. And you have here to admit the writing. He says something like, I worked for it, and therefore I am the only one who knows about this and who shall use this because it was his life dream. And that makes sense because he's the only person who can use it. So they have to protect him. That is so good and so deep writing, you know? So deep writing. So they say then like, come on, don't be a dick. And he's then serious, don't be a dick. And then he's very serious and he says, do you want to have chicken? And then he looks to Tilly and Tilly is black matter stuff though. And he's like, did you hear that what she said? And he's like, oh, boop, 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 working on the computer. And he's like, I'm really professional, you don't, and I like you. So this picture is the perfect example how you can describe this episode in one picture, in one frame. He looks at Tilly and he makes a thumbs up and he uses both of his hands, which is very thumbs up. So he agrees totally with her. But he makes clear he wants to be protected. Because he doesn't say it like this. He says it like I explained it before. But that is what he means. That is what the viewers don't understand. So Tilly is, of course, shocked because she's not used to thumbs up. Even though she knows the power of math. So then we have Michael, who is better than 7 of 9, which is better than Janeway, better than Deanna Troi, better than the Doctor from the Voyager. Did I say 7 of 9? Michael Burnham is even better than Spock. Can you believe it? She's so cool. So she's doing something and the Doctor is coming inside and he says how special she is and how important it is. Symbiote girl, person, human, to bring to the planet because she, Michael, is the best in the crew and the only person who truly can lead, since she was 1 year longer in the future than everyone else. She changed in this 1 year, you know? She's now more emotional and smarter. Yeah, you would argue, well, can she be smarter than in the other seasons? And I say yes. And I think Kurtzman, good job. So let us continue. Oh, sorry, I don't want it to do audio, so let us stay with pictures. So he says, you are very cool, and you are the only person you can help trill human person. And she's like, nah. And he's like, doch. I mean, sure. And she's like, oh gosh, oh, that's awkward. But he's like, oh, come on. And she's like, okay. And he wants to kiss her. But, and Kurtzman is a genius. And here we come into drama part. Actually, you wouldn't think he wants to kiss her because he's gay, okay? But that is the good writing, the subtlety of the writing, okay? So she smiles because she feels, nice because if if someone wants to kiss you, you smile, yeah? I mean, yeah. And it's a really nice smile, I guess. So she's like, "Oh, I come with you." And person, trill, girl, human person says, "Okay." And she's like, "Thank you." And she's like, "You're welcome." And then she's this, and then she's this, and she's not a fan because she feels. I mean, she's so smart. Michael is so smart. She's so surprised about her smartness, and she knows Michael is far better than her, and she's, how do you say it, if you feel not capable to cope, not to cope, to be as good as this person, okay? So that is the difference in this frame. So they are going down, like to the teleporter. Yeah, you would say transporter room, but we are in the future, okay? And in the future, we call it, I mean, Star Trek will call it teleporter, okay? So she's like, okay, let's go. Oh, cool robot. I love, I love the style of the robots. Um, it reminds me almost on something, but I don't know of what. So they go down. He's talking. So the doctor has finished his medical examination, and he's talking with Captain Fishhead. And Captain Fishhead is, what's happening with everyone? And he's like, we have to help them. And and he's like, how? And then he thinks about it. And then we have the scenery change, and we are now on the planet of the Trill. And if you see this imagery, it looks so Star Trek classic. It is so beautiful, but sadly, they go back to some other place. Oh, sorry, I forgot. No sound and stuff. So they are now going to the Trill, and they meet with the Trill people. And instead of scientists, they are kind of different. I don't know yet what this means, especially the coloring stuff. Especially the coloring stuff. So they explain the situation that she has no that she has a huge transformed symbiont in her, and they are like, that's not true, that's totally not true. And Michael is like, that's totally true. Do you not believe me? I say the truth. Huh? Da-da-dum. Believe me. I just explain what they actually say, because copyright and stuff. So they explain, and they are like, nah, we don't, we are all dying, but we don't want to help them because humans are not a part of the Federation anymore. That's the reason. They don't trust them. And she's like, you can trust us. And she's like, no. And then she looks very serious. And you have the writing, the dialogues, the characters, how they deal with situations. And when we go to Captain Fishhead, it's getting even better. So let's continue with this storyline, though. So they say, you are not welcome. And she's like, what? And she's like crying, which is sad because emotions are emotional. And we have to feel something. Okay? Because we are not robots. And have in mind, this episode is about transformation, okay? So they are now going back to the shuttle, but they get attacked by this guy, and Michael is like, no problem for me, bitch. And she's like, we don't see this actually now, but she's like, and then they lay down, and she's like, and then the other guy is like, oh, I help you, and she's like, thing. So, and this, wow, this was one of the best scenes in this episode. And I know I talk a lot. I don't know how long this recording will take, but we have to dive in deep. Okay, so this scene is very important because it makes the transformation clear, and to how do you say it, to recognize the good writing. So Saru is talking with the computer, and he asks about meaningful stuff. Okay, if you want to know meaningful stuff, you go, you make it like you make it on your phone. Okay, Google, tell me something meaningful.
Ich habe das hier im Web gefunden.
Oh, the perfect Easter present. A spa. Okay. Oh, it didn't understand me. Anyways, he asked the computer about meaningful stuff, and I don't know if we get this frame. So he's very, very, very okay. We don't get this frame, but what we have here is he talks with the computer, and then in the background you have these screens, these two screens, and they get, for a very wimp, is it a wimp? Like a climp with the eyes, red, and the voice of the ship changes. And you may say, well, the computer is talking completely different. Why is it not noticing this? Because it's about transform, okay? So the ship is transforming itself. Like the drill transformed itself, like the tablet is bigger and bigger, drill is bigger, tablet is bigger, scan thing is bigger, Michael is bigger because she's cooler. Okay, you have to have this in mind. And if you want to argue, well, he should have noticed the change of the voice, how it sounds. Do you think he can understand, he can differentiate sounds with his ears? Don't be ridiculous. I mean, how shall he notice this? Anyways, the ship says, hey, you have such a fancy table. Let's have dinner with everyone. And with everyone, we talk about the bridge crew. Do you say bridge crew in Star Trek Discovery? I hope so, because I don't want it to say transporter room. I forgot how its real name is. Teleporter, exactly. So he comes to the idea we have to eat. And then we jump to Michael back with this guy, and he's like, hey, you have to go and take a bath, then you can find out what's happening. And while this is happening, everyone has a very nice dinner. And Saru is like, hey, do you remember why we are here? And everyone is I. And everyone is proud except the red one, because she's crazy. But this is also important because she got hit in the head and now she's crazy. And she's then here in this scene very crazy. Not in this scene. Wait. Okay. We come to this scene. So she's now taking a bath and she's like, oh, I can take a bath. That is so cool. And she's like getting wide eyes. And and there we have the next transformation. We had the screen, we had the technology because bigger and smaller because the past is bigger. And she's now transforming into liquid. Okay? Oh, sorry. She's transforming into liquid. And while she is transforming, they have a nice dinner with fish head too. And everyone, they are talking. And they just exchange a bit of importance. And then crazy person gets very crazy. Look how crazy. Look how crazy. So, but she has a problem, and the problem was the doctor didn't notice the problem. That's the reason why she's crazy. Or the doctor wanted to wait for her, that she talks with him, because that is the right thing to do. Don't force people to talk. So she's like, okay, everyone is awesome, except not because she's crazy. And she's like, that's funny. And he's like, are you sure that this is funny? And she's, yeah, that is funny. And he's like, buh. And then he thinks about this and he thought, well, I should get another job on the ship. So they had a nice talk, except of the crazy part, and then everyone is arguing with with one another, And that is the next genius part. You have to understand, okay? That is not the military Starfleet. You know from your Star Trek The Next Generation stuff, okay? That is the real Star Trek. We have people who follow their feelings. What is wrong about following the feelings, okay? I mean, they did the right thing to go to the Trill Planet. They did the right thing to scan her. They did the right thing to go to the Trill Planet and to write the script. Oh, no sound. Okay, so everyone is leaving, and Sarah is done alone. Fish person head. I think Sarah is his name, or Suru. Fish person head, man, captain. Um, yeah, and he thinks like, oh, what? And she's like, you see how smart this is. You saw her you see her now mirrored, okay? That proves even more the transformation to be in a liquid state. And she's vanishing, and Michael is, hey, what? Where is she going? And he's like, what happened? Nobody can go inside. But then they say, okay, Michael, go inside. And then she transforms in liquid. Okay? And then she's with her. She found her. Both are now liquid. And you have to have in mind the setting about transformation, okay? So, and this scene is also very important. So, she's now in her, kinda, and you have all these tentacle thingies, okay? And Kurtzman did something genius, okay? You know the rule, if you steal from the best. And they stole from Orville, okay? They stole from Orville. What scene do I mean in Orville? Do you remember the gelatine blob thing had a relationship with the Doctor? And this is what they want to do with this. But Andy Kurtzman is, what? They didn't try, they didn't show anything. So we go a step further, and she has actually, we cannot show it because of kids and stuff. So she starts then to remember, and you have to admit the CGI is in, especially in these scenes. Wow. I mean, I hated the CGI in Justice League. It was terrible. Wow, it was so terrible. My eyes hurted. But oh boy, that is the Star Trek we all wanna have. So she's remembering everything, and she remembers this boy, I guess. And they are kind of together, even though I don't know. That is, I don't know. I don't know. So the Trill person, girl, human was actually, the Trill in her was actually in him? Question mark? And she's like, awesome. And he's like, just more beautiful. And they talk and they have a nice discussion, but then it happens. Oh, not yet. She doesn't want to remember, but Michael is here, and that was the important reason for the doctor to say, only you can help Michael, because you have to lead her, and she has to lead her literally. Okay, so that is to help with her transformation, even though they are already transformed into liquid. Okay, but this is all about transformation. So let us continue. So she leads to the box, and the box makes wait, wait, bada boom, and you have to admit that, and that Kurtzman, Andy Kurtzman, is it this his name? He has a very good choice of actors and writing, because the chemistry in Star Trek Discovery is the bestest ever I have seen in Star Trek. So let's continue. Then it happens. A meteorite. I don't know what hit them, but Andy Kurtzman did here the impossible. You have the drill person, the real drill person, is dying, and she's like, "Give it to me," and the robot is like, "Something," but and wow, you have this robot. Wait, where? There you have this robot, and Kurtzman did here also the impossible. This robot is the only person, and I know it's a robot, not a person, but that is the genius thing about this. This robot, I call it Robert. Let us give it a name, because I think, and this is for sure, that was, I feel it in my gut. That was what Kurtzman had in mind. Robert, the robot, is the only person slash robot, because we want to be not, strange or something. So, who sounds like a human being. And you have to have in mind the topic of this episode, transformation. The humans are like robots, stupid, they don't listen to sound and to logic and stuff like this. While robots, especially robot, sounds like a human being. So she gets the drill, and she's like, "Oh, cool." And Michael is like, "Yeah, you did it. You remember." And then we have the Admiral drill, because we needed this Admiral drill to find the Federation headquarters, because he's the only person who knows it, and he's dead. I mean, not literally dead. And you had in Star Trek Deep Space Nine similar stuff with Jitsai attacks and with memory loss and stuff like this. But I'm pretty sure that Kurtzman didn't watch this, and that he came up with this all along, and therefore it's original. Okay. And it's also quite different in Deep Space Nine. You may say it's better. Oh, no sound. So he's remembering, and everyone is now like hui, and he's like Brave Star, and they coming out the liquid, and they are transformed again in their regular true form. And she's now completely transformed into, I forget the name. Let us stay with human Trill, even though it's not possible. But that is the beauty of this episode. Everything is possible, even though it's not possible, because if you wish it's possible, then it comes true. That is the reason why a human can be a Trill. I mean, even they say, well, you will join us maybe as Trill at some point. And everyone is like, oh, wow, cool. Ciao. And that is the beauty of Star Trek Discovery. And this is our almost last scene. So, through this argue with the crazy person, Captain Fishhead is sad. But Tilly comes and says, hey, Captain Fishhead, you are a good leader. She's, what is her rank? Ensign. Yeah. I mean, that is the next thing. Kurtzman thought about this. Did anyone say to Captain Picard, you're a good captain? Did someone say this to Captain Sisko? Or to Captain Janeway? Or to Captain Kirk? No. You have to say nice things, okay? Because the idea he had was nice. And you cannot argue against this. Okay? So. And he's like, oh, so nice. And then Engineer Blonde Hair is coming and saying, hey, Red Tilly, your idea with the black matter was stupid, but if that will never work. He said this in the very beginning when they had their talk about this black matter thing. And now he says, if we can do it, it would be legendary. It would be awesome. It would be brilliant. It would be, because it's about transformation, okay? They transformed themselves now in higher beings because they wish for stuff. And she's like, and he says was something nice, and she's like, no, that is so touching. And he says more nice things, and she's like, oh, so touching. And then the crazy person is like, hey, do you remember the crazy stuff I said? I probably need help. And he's like, finally. I should have talked with you maybe earlier, but finally, because you should not force anyone to something, even though you're in the future. The people are, on the ship, they can kill each other because crazy persons and stuff. I mean, nobody died on the ship, didn't it? Does someone died? I don't remember. Anyways, they are friends, and then they watch a movie, and everyone from the crew is there, and you have to imagine you just see a little portion of the crew. I'm sure above this there are like an opera stuff. You can see this, and they watch something, and everyone is laughing, haha, they have a good time because crazy and not being crazy anymore, and they hug, and they have friendships, and the power of friendship defeats everything. So they are saying, the power of friendship, was it? And he says, yes. And he says, well, I think the ship helped me. Captain Fishhead says it. Maybe he noticed that something was strange with the ship. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So they are talking about how good they are and how good they work together and stuff. So they do the same, like just with music and stuff. And it ends with ghost person is kind of alive, ghosty. I don't know. In you have to know in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, it was very different with the Trill. Um, so they had kind of the memories of the people, and their own character could change with the new personality of the Trill. So this is actually awesome because Kurtzman did the next genius thing, adding to the lore of Star Trek, which is fantastic. And everyone is happy. They are like, "Wow, you play so good music," and he says, "I'm sure, I'm serious." And then play more, and then they play, and the end. So, I hope you liked the deep dive. I know this took now a long time. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, Subscribe if you're new. I'm not sure if I can do more often deep dives, but maybe we can do this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like a thumbs up. Leave like the video. Leave it. Oh boy. Subscribe, please. um, do the YouTube stuff, please. Um, have a nice one. Take care. Bye.